Naruto hand signs are iconic and they can be very flashy, but there is one type of hand sign that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know, I am talking about the combined hand signs, when one ninja combines their hands with another ninja to form this joint hand sign and use a particular jutsu. Now, I am not saying that the concept in of itself is wrong. Combined hand signs are used very well in the story, but there are particular instances that are really bad. And unfortunately for me, because you guys are not gonna like that, the bad instances are the ones people like the most. Do you remember when Obito used Kakashi's hand to use the fireball jutsu? Do you also remember when Sasuke used Naruto's hand to use the fireball jutsu? Most people haven't really read the manga and have only watched the anime, which is fine, but bear in mind, those two scenes are not canon. They are anime-only content. They never happen in the manga. Obviously, I'm not saying those two fights are bad. They are actually two of the best fights in the entire series as far as animation is concerned. They were animated by the same guy, and that guy had the idea of using those combined hand signs. He thought, like everyone watching it, they would be very flashy and cool and would show ability and just showcase the power of what animation can do in a battle. Also, they were trying to lengthen both of those fights, making the taijutsu exchanges longer, so combining hand signs was one way to do that, but there's a big problem with it, and I'm gonna get to it. But first, let's go over the other two times combined hand signs are used in the series, and these two times are canon. They are in the manga. The first one being a very obscure one that people kind of forget or glance over, which was when Anko used a combined hand sign with Orochimaru's hand in order to try and sacrifice herself to kill Orochimaru in the Forest of Death, using the twin serpent sacrifice jutsu. Now, the prerequisites for that jutsu is that you have to combine your hands with a target and then cast the jutsu, but Orochimaru substituted and nothing happened there. The other time was when Naruto and Sasuke combined their hands in order to undo the infinite Tsukiyomi after their final confrontation when Sasuke was brought back to the good side. And those two instances are good. Actually, I would even argue that Naruto and Sasuke combining their hand signs is perfect for the end of the story. So why am I criticizing the combined hand signs in the Kakashi vs Obito fight and the Naruto vs Sasuke fight? Well, try this anytime with a friend that likes Naruto. Tell him, let's form the horse hand sign together, and do it. Try it. You're not gonna form the horse hand sign. It's difficult. It requires practice. You'd have to train with your friend in order for you to combine your hands and form a complex hand sign, such as the horse hand sign, the tiger hand sign, whatever. It's not an easy process. Imagine doing that in the middle of a battle against a non-compliant opponent. This would be impossible. Also, why would your opponent form the hand signs with you? It's very obvious that the anime wants to form hand signs to cast a jutsu against you, so why would you help him and use your hand to form his hand signs? This makes no sense. The only feasible explanation as to why Kakashi and Naruto are helping their enemies forming hand signs is that they're either being mind controlled or there's some type of telekinesis making their hands form the hand signs, because otherwise this would have never happened. Now, you could say they're ninjas, so it would be much easier for them to combine their hands because they are very good at weaving hand signs, and sure, I'll give you that. Maybe they wouldn't need practice in order to combine their hands to form a hand seal, but why would your opponent lend you his hand for you to form a hand sign? We have a canon version of combining hand signs in the middle of a fight, which is the Anko versus Orochimaru fight, and you would be saying that, well, then Kishimoto did in the manga as well. What you're talking about? You don't make any sense, Daigo. Well, just read the scene again. Anko literally stabs herself with a kunai on her hand in order to keep Orochimaru's hand in place. Also, Orochimaru wasn't really weaving a hand sign. His hand was closed, but that was everything she needed. She was forming the hand sign with her hand and using his hand closed in order to finish it. The main point is that Orochimaru is not contributing to Anko's hand sign. She is only using his hand, and she pinned him down before, making this much more plausible than simply grabbing your opponent's hand and weaving a sign out of nowhere, having his or her help. Sasuke and Obito literally weaved hand signs with Kakashi and Naruto. It makes absolutely no sense, but in here I'm just even talking about if it makes sense or not for you to use mid-battle. The other problem with the combined hand signs is that they take away the meaning of the canon combined hand sign used by Naruto and Sasuke. When Naruto and Sasuke combined their hands in order to dispel the Infinite Tsukiyomi, that was done after they had reconciled. After the unison sign was formed by Hashirama and Madara's fingers in the Valley of the End. Naruto and Sasuke joined their hands to form a seal in the end to undo what Madara had done, symbolizes that union again, that they are now friends, and that the world has finally achieved peace. But if they form hand signs prior to that, in the middle of their fight, the significance of them finally joining their hands in the end diminishes. This might seem like something small because it's just a hand sign and it's flashy, it looks good in the animation, but it's important. Naruto and Sasuke joining their hands in the final stretch of the series closes down their arcs. These two characters that have been essentially enemies for the entirety of Naruto Shippuden are now once again allies. And I mean, they're the two most important characters in the series, you cannot mess that up at least. I'm not gonna say that the anime fight ruined that moment, but it didn't do it any favors. Now, there were good things about the anime fight between Naruto and Sasuke, like Kirin, like some extra nice moves that they used. And the Obito versus Kakashi fight has the exact same problem. In the end of their fight, we see their past selves joining their hands with a unison sign, but their future selves don't do that. Obito pulls his young selves so that they no longer form the unison sign, and then Kakashi and Obito clash. Kakashi with his Raikiri and Obito with that Rinnegan rod. When they joined their hand signs prior in the fight in the anime, it diminishes that scene as well because these characters are not in good terms. They shouldn't be joining their hands, especially in a way that seems so collaborative, weaving hand signs together. There's nothing more teamwork-like than this, including combined hand signs in Kakashi and Obito's most intense moment of confrontation and animosity towards each other when they're literally trying to kill each other, diminishes the impact of when Kakashi and Obito actually fight together again as a duo. That moment in the story gets a lot of emphasis because it is a big deal. Obito has been a major villain for a while, and now he is once more fighting together with his former friend, the guy that shared all that history with him. Destiny made those characters come together again, and now Obito has been redeemed by Naruto. And this time, Obito will be the lead, and Kakashi will play support. It is a big, impactful moment. And of course, the hand signs being combined in the Obito versus Kakashi fight doesn't mean the characters are in good terms, but the symbolism is there. Combining hand signs should be an act of friendship. And that's why Kishimoto never included combined hand signs in the heat of a battle, with the very rare exception of Anko when she had to stab herself in order to perform it, an act that's definitely not collaborative. And when she did that, it made sense for her to be able to join her hands with Orochimaru's hands and form a hand sign. When Naruto and Sasuke do it in the end, dispelling the Infinite Tsukiyomi, they're collaborating, so it makes sense, but we never see something like what Sasuke or Obito do in their respective fights ever in the manga. I would just remove those two very brief scenes and just make Obito and Sasuke use normal hand signs to cast their fireballs. Storytelling is a give and take game. You have to sacrifice certain elements to gain other things in a story. It is the mark of a remarkably good writer to introduce concepts, plot threads, character ideas that will not sacrifice anything else in the story. It's difficult to arrange all those elements. In this case of the hand signs, the anime chooses to sacrifice a bit of internal consistency within the story and also the thematic value of the payoffs in those fights to make something really cool during their taijutsu exchanges. They go for the rule of cool, which is something very prominent in shonen anime. Usually, if it looks cool, then even though it doesn't make much sense, people tend to give it a pass. Look at Kakashi's perfect Susanoo, for example. It's a prime case study of that. You have to balance out what will you lose by introducing this other concept. The anime believed that making the fight looking more flashy would outweigh whatever loss that would occur from it. And thinking on their side, they made an extremely good choice because most people seem to love how these hand signs are performed. They're not the gravest issue by any means in the Naruto story, and they're not even canon. Also, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't enjoy the scenes where these hand signs are done if you enjoy them. I just hope that this video served to give you a new perspective on this very small aspect of the story, but an aspect that people still pay a lot of attention to. Watch this other video right here and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Like this video as well to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, it really helps, and thank you so much for watching.